Hi, my name is Kate Gare, and I have been supporting Women to Thrive for nearly 15 years now. In this vlog, I'd like to share my 5 top tips to give you the best chance to achieve your New Year's resolutions this year. Did you know that it's not even 9% of people that annually achieve the resolutions that they set? And this is such a small number, and I think this year, more than ever, we really need to give ourselves the best chance of success. So if you follow my 5 tips, which are taken from the latest research from around the world, then you will give yourself such a good chance, and I'd love to hear what you do achieve. So my tip number 1 is to think big but act small. So have your ultimate goal and really embrace that and let those endorphins release as you think about them. But then break it down into really small, manageable chunks. And by doing that, you start to see progress. Even 1% progress a day that accumulates into a huge change. So alongside setting yourself smaller goals, much manageable, much more tangible goals, also plan how you will reward yourselves once you achieve these smaller goals. I wonder what you could do, something really nice for yourself. So that was tip number 1. Tip number 2 is about accountability. So evidence really shows us that by being accountable, you are much more likely to achieve your goals. So this could be simply naming what it is that you want to achieve. So I'm going to name what I want to achieve this year, and that is to run 5k. I'm much more of a swimmer, and because of this year, I've done a lot less swimming than I would do normally, and so I am going to learn how to become a runner. So I am being accountable by naming it here. Also, it can be really helpful to find someone to do an activity with, whatever that is. And the other area around accountability is to almost have a score chart. So to have on the side of your fridge, and you tick off the days that you do the activity or whatever your resolution is, the days that you actually take action. So that was tip number 2. Tip number 3 is about habit stacking. And if you know me, you will know that I love talking about habit stacking. I first came across it in James Clear's book called Atomic Habits. And he talks about how it's so helpful when you're trying to introduce a new activity to tack it onto something that you already do, something that doesn't take effort. So a really, I think, useful example might be cleaning your teeth. So if you can include the activity after cleaning your teeth, or first thing in the morning, or after you've had a meal, then it becomes so much easier to use that action that doesn't take any willpower to start to introduce and create a habit for your new action. We only have a certain amount of willpower in a day, and if you're using all of your willpower to start the new activity again and again and again, then there's almost no willpower for the other things in your life as well. So habit stacking is something really helpful. What you want if you want to create a new habit is for that habit to be in that same part of your brain that something like cleaning your teeth is that it just doesn't take willpower, it's just something that you do. So that is tip number 3. Tip number 4 is around identity. I was listening to a neuroscientist recently, and I need to find the name of him and I'll add it somewhere when I find it. But he was talking about how neuroplasticity and the malleability of your brain means that actually your identity changes every day because of your experiences through the day, which I find fascinating. But also what we know about identity is if you start to identify as someone who already does the thing that you want to introduce in your life, then you are much more likely to achieve it. So, for example, if we take the identity of a runner, starting to see yourself and believe that you are a runner and act like a runner means that you're much more likely to achieve the resolution of running. And that's certainly what I'm going to do around my couch to 5k, and I think I'll use my husband as inspiration because he is definitely a runner, although he didn't used to be, but he is now. So that was tip number 4. So tip number 5 is to plan. So not only are you going to have a specific big goal and then create specific smaller goals within that, it's also really important that you have a plan about what you're going to do if you don't do the activity or if you don't do the resolution for a little while. How do you get yourself back on track really helpfully, really meaningfully, so that you don't give up if you fall at the first hurdle? So those are my 5 tips for helping you to give yourself the best possibility of achieving your resolutions this year. Do get in touch if I can help further. And also if you're interested in some of the research around this or really good books and resources to go and find out more. But most of all, have a safe and healthy new year. And I'll see you next time.